Hey everybody, welcome to the first week, a recap of the Reclaim Project, the 6-month-long experiment where I attempt to reclaim my physical health, improve our home by 1% minimum each week, and grow my small YouTube channel into something that I can monetize and develop a creative career from. So last week I laid out the plan for the next 6 months, the goals and what they were. You can view it here. I will put a little card in the video if you're not up to speed. And so I'm here to tell you how this first week went. So, it's kind of momentous, when you're starting something new and you've got all this good intention and you've got all this energy, and it's like there's a part of me that's worried that I won't be able to sustain it. But here we are trying, and trying is better than not doing anything at all. So even if I falter, even if I miss a week, even if I, find some weeks really difficult, really challenging, I'm still gonna try and remain consistent in uploading for the next 6 months. And we'll see where we get to. Physical health. So from my previous video, I mentioned that I want to improve my hip health because my hips have particularly suffered since I had my daughter Eden in 2024. So one of the things that I have been using this week to start helping is a program called the Pain Academy. And I've been on its radar for quite some time, kind of just checking it out, using some of the free resources. And I am just about to finish up a free 7-day trial. It's not sponsored at all. I don't have any reason, I'm not being paid to say this. So I have managed 3 times this week to use the free trial to do some exercises. And at first it was really difficult to find the time. I thought I would be able to prioritize working out in the morning. That has not happened. I have just tried to basically seize the moment as and when it arrives, because the exercises, the movement practices in Pain Academy are quite short and they're easy to fit in. So I tried doing exercises this morning to prioritize me, and Fox and Eden just wouldn't let me get on with it without interrupting me. It's quite difficult on a Saturday morning because John goes out to park run every Saturday, and I had to just leave it, and I had every intention of getting back to it, but I never did. And it's now coming up to 11 p.m. So I'm going to brush my teeth, and then I'm going to try and do some exercises. And I'm going to hope that Eden doesn't wake up because she's been really unsettled, but she really needs the sleep because she's been so grouchy and she didn't sleep properly today. Anyway, this morning I ended up folding washing instead. So anytime I had 15-20 minutes, I would just try and do some. And I may still even do some today because my free trial ends tomorrow. The exercises were really gentle, and I can't say that I noticed any particular improvement, but one thing that really surprised me is that I was doing butterfly pose. So you're lying back and your knees open, but your feet are together. And that is something that I do find very difficult right now because it often causes a lot of joint pain in my hips. He was speaking so gently in the video, talking about not forcing and just allowing and not going to any pain or whatever, and I just found myself crying out of nowhere. And I know obviously the body does keep the score, pain and trauma resides in the body and your body remembers, and I can't help but feel that when my pain got significantly worse, it was just after I'd had Eden, and the lead up to her birth was incredibly stressful and difficult, and I had to dismantle all of my expectations and my hopes, and I had to allow myself to be cut open again, and I had failed again, and I felt so cornered, and I feel that a lot of that experience still lives in me, and specifically in my hips. And as women, we tend to hold a lot of our trauma and our stress in our hips as a kind of bowl of stress. So it kind of surprised me and yet didn't surprise me because of what I know about pain and trauma and how it manifests physically. It can manifest physically in the body. And it seems too high of a coincidence that my pain got significantly worse after such a difficult experience. Yeah, I still feel a bit shaken up by, I mean, it was like good, but I just wasn't expecting to be standing there afterwards, you know, having done butterfly pose, still crying through arm circles. It's so silly. My right hip is really bothering me today. It's really achy. So yeah, that kind of really caught me by surprise that I ended up crying. I have this feeling in my gut that that's exactly where I need to go, because as much as my pain might be physical, it might also be emotional, and that needs addressing as well. Once my free trial is over though, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do right away. I am kind of waiting to be paid. I get paid at the end of the month, and then my cash flow situation becomes much better. Paying for Pain Academy once a month is actually cheaper than my gym membership, which is currently gathering dust. Although I do like going to the gym and I like lifting things and using my muscles and feeling like I'm getting stronger. So I really should probably try and work that back into my routine again. I could probably do that during the week before work. So yeah, all in all, we're off to a good start. Let's see if we can keep it going, and let's hope that with consistent effort, my pain improves. Home improvement. Right, well, this one is quite easy. I installed a water filter to our kitchen sink, and it's the pure water filter. Again, I am not sponsored to say any of this. This is a purchase I've made with my own money. I've seen a few water filters advertised. Water 2 was one that I was interested in for a while, but this one, the pure water filter, it just seemed a little bit simpler to set up and really very reasonably priced, whereas water 2 was a bit more expensive and a bit more of an investment. We do have a distiller, which we have used, and we used it a lot more in our previous house. But here, it's not in the kitchen, it's in the utility room, and we just don't use it as much because it's not in our line of sight all the time. We have to remember to put it on. It also draws quite a lot of power because it's basically like boiling a big kettle the whole time. But I know what's left in that distiller when the water's all been filtered through, and it is not pretty. And every time I turned on the tap to drink tap water, I was like, what else am I drinking? What else am I giving to my children? Like, it just kind of made me feel icky. I was just like, let's just see if we can avoid that or like reduce it and, you know, just drink better water. So not only functionally does it look quite smart, and it actually just filters the water right from the tap, and it doesn't cost us any power to do that, it also means that we have peace of mind when we're drinking water or like washing our vegetables or something, that we're not just washing it with questionable water as well. And who knows what effect all those things are having on our bodies over a long period of time. So yeah, I just feel like 100% better about having good water to drink. So that was a really easy win this week. I don't think I really made any other home improvements this week, although I have a ton that I want to do, and that list is quite overwhelming. So I'm going to have to really take that slowly. And I know I kind of talked about like taking back my time, like reclaiming my time, but I think this is basically going to be a section where I look at my YouTube analytics instead from the week previous. So here is a little video that I recorded earlier just for you guys going over my YouTube analytics. So here is my YouTube analytics on my phone, and as you can see, everything is going up, which is great. And what I find quite entertaining are things like where it says I'm doing 1,300% more than the previous 28 days. And obviously that's just because I was dormant for such a long time. I didn't have any new subscribers. So it's really fun to see that figure going up again after such a long time. And as you can see, like watch time hours has also gone up. and views are also going up. Seems like one of my best videos at the moment is making a custom fit mask out of newspaper, water and flour, which is interesting because I never expected that to do particularly well. And I mean, I don't really know much about YouTube analytics. I never really paid them too much attention when I was doing it before. But in general, I just keep looking to check that things are going up, because up is good. Growth is good, even for a small channel. You know, any kind of movement up is in the right direction. And where can I look at? Oh yeah, so, but I'm still quite a way away from monetizing. I've obviously got the 3 video uploads. That's easy to do. And then also, it's funny because it's not showing me the subscribers, but you need over 1,000 subscribers, and obviously I've got that, and I've had that for quite some time. But this is the one, the valid public watch hours and shorts views. You need one or the other, and I'm like so far away from shorts, even though they actually perform slightly better. Whereas the long form content doesn't do as well anymore. It depends. I think once you've sort of built a really good following, like your long form content probably does quite well, but in the beginning, probably short form content is the one that does really well. And obviously people's attention spans are not as good as they used to be. So short form content definitely seems to be where it's at if you want to attract people to your channel and let them know what you're doing. Kind of like an advert, I suppose. But anyway, I'm quite pleased with how things are going. And yeah, so everything's going up. That's basically my takeaway. So challenges that I faced this week were basically, as I said, like finding the time to work out. It didn't happen when I thought it would happen, and we're just going to have to be flexible and adaptable. Making concise clips during the week that don't involve me waffling on and making these videos far too long and too boring. That is something I'm going to have to try and get better at. Yeah, and actually like editing extra content that's not to do with this 6-month challenge is also quite challenging. It's really hard to like strike the balance between what I should be doing and what I need to do. So like progressing my goals, putting our family in a better situation, all of that, versus like just like regular maintenance of life here, and cleaning and cooking and washing and school. Although this is the extra challenge that I had not even thought of. I've decided to start doing this challenge right at the very beginning of the summer holidays, the 6-week holiday, which in previous years has not been my ally. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. Having the kids at home more generally doesn't mean that I get as much time for me. So yeah, that's a challenge. And like the surprise of this week was really just like the emotional outburst, the emotional release that I had from doing exercises. It really makes me want to explore emotional pain more, and that might be something that I explore in later weeks. So thanks for tuning in for my first recap of week 1, 6 months to reclaiming myself in various ways and improving. What small victories are you celebrating this week? And if you haven't already, please subscribe so you can continue to come along on this journey with me. Like this video if you liked it, because it lets me know that I am doing the right thing, and it also helps with my engagement and my overall goal of monetizing my channel once again and becoming a small independent content creator. So yeah, see you next week for week 2.